Hi and welcome to Niche Reaper 2.0. I'm going to try and cover everything you need to know about how to use Niche Reaper in this one tutorial video. Okay, before we start, there are two housekeeping things that I want to cover. First, if you need support, there is a little grey question mark icon down here in the bottom right hand corner. You can simply click on that and it will open up the support desk for you so you can open a support ticket and get in touch with us. And second, we highly recommend that you use Niche Reaper using the Google Chrome browser as it's optimized for best performance in this browser. The second recommended choice would be Firefox from Mozilla, and the least recommended is Internet Explorer, simply because it is with this browser that we've experienced the most problems and bugs in how it displays the data provided by Niche Reaper. Okay, housekeeping done, let's move on. First of all, there are two main pages you need to be aware of. The keywords page and the opportunities page, both linked to at the top of the page here. The opportunities page is effectively the advanced view where you can see the results for each of the top 10 results in Google on the first page for an individual keyword. Let's start with the keywords page and then we'll take a look at the opportunities page after. Now, at the top of the keywords page, you can see the current number of keywords in the database. And remember, this will be cleared out. Basically, any keywords over 60 days old will be removed from the database to keep all the data fresh. Now, please bear in mind that you are only seeing around 130,000 entries currently in the keyword database, simply because we've only been running the engine for a little under a month. That will fill up, and at top rate it should be well over 250,000, probably over 300,000 keywords available for you in the database. Let's have a run through the data we can see here on the screen. Now, the first column is the source for the keyword. This is simply where the seed idea for keywords are taken from. The sources include Google Search, Google News, AOL Hourly, Reddit, WordPress.com, Alexa and Wikipedia. And remember, all the keywords are then checked to ensure they have over 1,000 searches and a CPC value of at least 25 cents before we research them and pull them into the database for you. Obviously, we then have the keyword itself, and then just to the right of the keyword there's a little 1, 2, 3 icon that will give you an insight into the data for the top 10 results for this keyword, basically on page 1 of Google. This is what we'll look at in more detail on the opportunities page, as we can filter on all of this data on that page, hence it being more advanced. For the moment, think of it as just a quick way of checking the top 10 results for that keyword. Now, across the top, each column will tell you exactly what that means. If you hover over the little icon, it will bring up a little explanation of what each one is. Now, what I'll actually do now is quickly run through each of them for you. The $sign is the estimated average monthly AdSense revenue for a page 1 Google ranking for this keyword. Now, obviously this is only an estimate and could vary highly, for instance just based on the actual position that you get on page 1. Then we have what we call the commercial intent, which is based on how many Google AdWords there are for this keyword, so how heavy the competition is for it in AdWords. Then we have the number of monthly exact match searches for this keyword. Then we have the estimated average cost per click value for this keyword. Then you can see whether the Facebook vanity URL is available for this keyword or not, and whether the .com or .net domain is available for the keyword as well. Then we have the average number of backlinks across the top 10 sites listed for the keyword on page 1 in Google. Then we have the number of video results on that first page, so you can see whether it's targeting this keyword with YouTube video, for instance. Then we have the average number of Facebook likes, Google Plus ones and tweets for those top 10 results as well. Then we have the SEO column, which is basically an estimate for how hard it may be to compete for this keyword based on factors like whether the keyword is in the URL or the title for those top 10 results, as was shown on the Insight preview that we looked at earlier by highlighting this icon here over on the left next to the keyword. And again, we'll look at that information in more detail when we go to the opportunities page. And the last column we have is how many days ago this data was researched. So what's its age in the database, how old it is in the number of days. Now we also have some options across the top here, so let's cover what these are for and what they do. First up is the live feed, so I click on that and it will actually change it to the live feed. Now this simply lets us watch as the new keywords are researched and drop into the database as it happens. So this is the very latest data as it's being researched and being pulled into the database itself. Now you can see that the data here, there's 3 that are less than a minute old, and there you go, 2 more have just dropped in while I'm actually recording this video. So this is one of the fascinating things, that you can sit here and actually watch the new keywords come into the database live and pick up great new ideas as they're coming in fresh. Okay, so I've switched the live feed off again there. Now the filter option I will come back to in a moment or two. We'll cover that last because there's a bit that we can look at there. The shuffle option simply picks a random spot in the database and takes you to that keyword. So it's a great way of randomly jumping around to look for an idea. Now I found some fantastic keywords using this option, and it can be almost as addictive as using the live feed itself. So I highly advise having a play with that and seeing what it comes up with for you. Okay, the export function, basically all you need to do is highlight the keywords that you want to export. So highlight them, click on them so that they're highlighted. Let's click on another couple here, and then simply click on the export function, and it will allow you to save this or these particular keywords as a CSV file, so you can pull them up in Excel and play around with them. So you can pull up, or you can highlight as many different keywords as you want and then export them simply by clicking on that export button. The group button will group keywords together that are from the same seed keyword, so variations on the keyword and LSI related keywords. It'll make more sense if you actually click on it and then scroll through the database. You'll see where groups of keywords come up together under the one group heading. And columns allows you to choose which columns of data are displayed, depending on what you want to see. So for instance, if you're not interested in seeing whether the Facebook vanity URL is available or not, you can untick that option and it disappears. So you can actually narrow the data down to exactly what you want to see and get rid of those columns that are of no interest to you. Okay, so just click on columns, it brings up the list, tick or untick whichever ones you do or don't want, click on columns again, and you're done. Now let's go back and switch on the filter option so we can have a look at that. And as a note, this is actually in many ways far more powerful on the opportunities page because there's other data that you can actually filter on. And in fact, before I start playing around with the filters, which you can see have popped up at the bottom here, there is one other thing. You can actually reorder the data based on any of these columns of information. So if I wanted them, all the data in the list of the highest CPC to the lowest CPC, I can simply click on that CPC at the top of the column. And okay, it starts with lowest to highest. If I click on it again, it will reorder it from highest value to lowest value. Okay, so any of these columns you can click on the name at the top and it will resort all the data for you, lowest to highest and then highest to lowest if you click on it again. Now with the filter options at the bottom of the page here, the first option is for you to be able to filter by the different sources for the keywords, where the seed keywords come from. So if you wanted just Alexa or just Google News, you probably can't see that, it's just slightly off the bottom of the page there, off the video. But you can choose one particular source for the keywords and just filter by those. Now more useful is to be able to filter by a keyword. So let's say we want to search for or filter by attorney. If I can spell that right, attorney, we can actually see that there are 2 attorneys here, 1, 2, 3, 4 I think, or 3. So type in attorney, hit return, and that will actually run the filter for me. Now you can see it is just listing keywords that include the word attorney. Okay, and you can see there are 47 entries there just in the data as it is. So that's how you can filter very quickly on one particular keyword and bring up a whole group that you may then want to export as one chunk of keywords as a niche. you will always be able to see at the top here how many entries there are in the database for whatever filter you're running. So at the moment I'm down to 47 entries, so what I'm actually going to do is delete that out and hit return again, so we go back to the full database before I try running any of the other filters as well. Now I'm not actually going to run through every filter there is down here at the bottom. It's fairly obvious how they work once you start playing with them, but I do want to cover some of the important options available to you. For instance, if we only want to see keywords where there is a Facebook vanity URL available, we simply click on the icon here for the drop-down list where we can choose all, which it is at the moment, yes or no. So we can just look at those that do have a Facebook vanity URL available. Likewise for the .net or .com domain names available. So I could just say yes here and it will just list those that do have a .com domain available for them. You can also use greater or less than operators. So let's say I'm only interested in those keywords that have a search volume of over 3,000 or let's say a CPC of over $10. What I can do is put in the greater than sign and then 10 for $10. I don't actually need to put in the $ itself, and again hit return, and it will filter that, and we'll notice the number here at the top. We had this already sorted by the highest to lowest, so it wouldn't have made a difference here, but it's made a difference to the number of entries. It's dropped right down to 556 entries available that have a CPC of over $5 and have a .com available as well. Now that's very, very useful data straight away. So you can see how useful the filters can be, and yes, you can use more than one filter at the same time to narrow down your search to exactly what you're looking for. And the other really useful thing you can do here is you can save your current filter. So I've got some settings that put into my filters there. I'm going to click on Save Current Filter and give it a name. Now that was based on the CPC value and CPC and .com. So I'm going to call it CPC and com. Click on Save Changes and that will be saved to my filters. Here it is, CPC and com. Next time I come back in, I can simply click on that and it will automatically bring up those filters. Now obviously those are only going to appear when you've clicked on the filter icon at the top here, okay? So make sure you click on filter, then you can click on your previously saved filters. It saves an awful lot of time. Okay, let's go and have a look now at the opportunities page. So I'll click on opportunities and it will open that up. It'll take a moment or two. This blue line, it says it's pulling up the data, and it'll just take a few seconds to pull it all up for us. Okay, the first thing you need to understand here is why the same keyword apparently shows 10 times. Now basically what we're looking at is one keyword and then the top 10 results in Google for that keyword. That's actually what the rank column here means. It's what rank, which position on page 1 each of these listings is for that particular keyword. To rank on Google on the first page, you're going to need to beat one or more of these rankings to push them down a spot, to push yourself into those top 10. Now that is why we call this page the opportunities page, because we're actually looking at or for opportunities to rank on the first page of Google for a given keyword. Hence opportunities. You could equally call it the advanced page. Now let's have a quick run through the data we're seeing here on this page. Much of it is the same as we saw on the keywords page, such as the source of the data, also the commercial intent, and as well whether the .com, .net domain names are available, and also the CPC and search volume. On the other hand, the estimated AdSense value and the number of backlinks and the Facebook likes, Google Plus ones, and number of tweets. This is no longer the average for all the results in the top 10, but this time it's for the actual ranked result shown. So that's what, again, the rank number actually means here. So for this particular item, this actual page, which is ranked 4, we can see that there are no Facebook likes, no Google Pluses, and no tweets, and an average of 9 backlinks, which would suggest that's a good possibility or good opportunity to beat out and actually rank for. And that again is one of the other important bits of information on this opportunities page, the actual page that is being listed in the Google results for position 4 in this case. And on top of that, you can see whether the keyword is in the URL or the title for this particular result. Now that's obviously very important information when it comes to deciding whether you can actually rank for this keyword using SEO. The in-URL or in-title information can help you make an informed decision. Now the other column that's worth looking at here is the one that says type, and if I scroll down, hopefully we'll find one where there's actually a little icon. Here we go. Here's the icon for a video. Basically, if there is a listing that is a video, then you'll see an icon like this. This is a YouTube video. That's very helpful if you're a video marketer, because straight away you can see those results where there aren't any videos listed, so you can potentially target those with a YouTube video and get ranked quickly and easily using videos if you're a video marketer. Now the extra options at the top of the page are basically the same as we reviewed earlier on the keywords page. The important thing here is that when we click on the filter button, you can see that we are now able to filter the results on all this new data, such as the number of backlinks or whether the keyword is in the URL or the title. For any experienced niche marketer, you should see straight away just how useful this is. Once you know how you can rank your niche sites, pages or videos, you also know what you can target. So just pop your targeting criteria into these filters and then cherry pick the very best that you want and export them to start work on. And again, of course, you can save your preferred filters as a new filter so that you can pull it back up again anytime you need to and find more great keywords to go after in just moments. Now, Niche Reaper really does make finding valuable keywords to target that easy. Okay, that's basically it. That is how easy it is to use Niche Reaper. It is fairly intuitive. Feel free to have a play around, fiddle with different things. I should point out on the filters side, we'll probably have 5 set up for you as a default, and you can only add up to 5 extras of your own. Once you get to 10, you cannot add any more. So you can only have 5 of your own, plus 5 of the pre-set up ones that we do for you. I'd suggest that you actually start having a play around, and hopefully in 5 minutes from now you'll have found some great keywords and already be exporting them and starting to work on them. If there is anything that we haven't covered in this tutorial video that pops up that you need to know about, if you have any questions, don't forget there is this little question mark down in the bottom right hand corner. You can click on that and open up a support ticket. Pop any questions over to us, and we'll answer them as quickly as we can. If we find there is extra stuff that needs extra tutorials to be covered, we will get them done and added to the membership area as quickly as we can. Okay, thank you very much for watching.